Prepare yourselves for the greatest narrowboat story ever told. Well, it never turned out that way, did it? So it's probably the crappiest narrowboat story ever told. Nevertheless, it's a story to be told, and it's been told for the last 2.5 years over the course of about 150 blimmin' episodes. Quit your job to go continuous cruising forever, and yet not really one day of cruising as of yet. A humongous leak in our bilges that was discovered 2 days after the purchase of our first narrowboat has led to a complete restoration project. Quit your job and use your life savings to document every river and canal by boat on the network. As it turns out, we're using our life savings now to document the whole restoration of this narrowboat before we hit the rivers and canals permanently for you guys. We are Chris and Bex. We are the not so nomadic Crobot. Welcome back to the big bad ball ache. So we've been away from the boat for about a week, and this is what we came back to. Why have they all got wet, Bex?
Because our chimney cover blew off in the storm of the other day, and so we just had an exposed hole on the roof and didn't realise, so the rain got in a little bit. Could have been a lot worse.
So as you know, we haven't been putting a lot of vlogs out lately. we literally had a week off the boat, a week or so, just going back, seeing family. Like I say, it's so cold. We haven't got a stove on here or anything at the moment, so it's just hot water bottles and blankets, and it was just all getting a little bit much. So had a week off, refreshed and ready to get this bloody stove installed. Bex also came down with a horrible illness, so I had to get away from her.
God, you make it sound like I had the scurvy or something. It was just your bog standard horrible winter cold.
Don't you realise how many people around the world you're now offending that have got scurvy? Poor little scurvy people. Do they still do scurvy?
Isn't it a deficiency in vitamin C? Because sailors and that used to get it.
It's a boat thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, unscurvied up now. She's back to the Wombat to finish what she started. And most of all, to get me warm, because I'm freezing. Currently, guys, we are working on getting our stove area reinstated. Yeah, we've decided to rip this thing out just as it's about to come into winter. What a good idea that's turned out to be. Bex cleverly came up with some sample footage of what it possibly could look like once it's finished, and then we put her brain to the test. Yeah, we found this copper, this disgusting copper in our marina that no one wanted anymore, and Bex wants to restore this and use it on our stove. And yeah, it came up pretty good. Also, we started doing something that we had never ever tried before in our little lives. We started to cut tiles with Becca's dad's legendary tile cutter. And yeah, we done that in the dark. In today's episode, we will also be doing something that we have never ever done in our little lives, and that is cementing the tiles to the left and right here and to the bottom, the half. My game plan, that Becca is completely unaware of, will be to do my bit a lot less messy than her bit. Bex does this weird thing where she just stares at the grout, if you remember. Just sits there for hours, she does, just looking at it, cuddling it. It's weird.
So just about to mix up our adhesive to start getting some of these slate tiles in place.
Rapid set, flexible adhesive. So you can't mess about with this, Bex. Got to do this extra quick, Bex.
I phoned my friend because unfortunately the bag only tells you what the mix ratio is for the entire bag, and obviously we don't need that much. So he's given us some instructions, so I'm just going to follow them and hope for the best. Looking professional with our new cup.
Quick go, setting. Like a little spout. So first up, we've got to create our adhesion gloop from this powder for our tiles.
Slow to come out.
Wonder if we need a man to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So far, my little plan is coming into play. She's going to be messy, guys, I can tell. Get it in there, girl. Very, very tense moments as there's a countdown for this adhesion gloop to set. So we just got to get this gloop up to the desired thickness, and then Bex is up first. God, we're really loading up on it now, aren't we? Next up, we've got to prime the slates and the hardy backer with water, and then get these up and fast. Drying, we've got about 5 minutes now till it's completely dry.
It's coming. Oh my God. It's just going everywhere.
Well, it's meant to.
Now on the pack it says this dries in about 20 to 30 minutes. Adding these little crevices to the wall gloop will help this adhese to the hardy backer. Is it adhese a word? Luckily we had a friend on call to help.
That's completely gloveless there.
Because you've back butted the tile, the adhesive that is like sort of sticking to the adhesive, which is your sub base, your adhesive that's on the wall, means that you've got quite a lot of drying time. You could play with it for a little while. Those tiles aren't going to be set to the point that you can't twist them or move them for around about 20-25 minutes.
Didn't do it messy at all, did she?
It's been a while, hasn't it? You seen that film Creep when he tries to put the glove on before operating? Bex does the hard bit, lines it all up. All responsibility falls on Bex.
Okay, my turn.
Going everywhere. Is it meant to go everywhere? I think it sort of is, isn't it?
More at an angle, probably.
Starting to get really, really messy.
Yeah.
I think you just got to get it on, haven't you? And worry about the mess maybe after.
Yeah, maybe we'll forget the secret mess tournament that we're meant to be having here.
Don't push in too much.
Good God.
We'll forget about it and maybe get Bex to tidy up too. Because, yeah, she's a far better tidy-upper.
So how do you think that went?
I think it went well, but it's a messy old job. I think tomorrow when we carry on, we'll clear a bit more space, or as much as you can in a narrowboat, just so when there's adhesive flying about, it's less likely to land on sort of important stuff.
The panic dial goes very quickly from 1 to 10 when you start realising there's no space down there. It's just really, really messy, and you don't want to ruin
And
it.
we've all seen how Chris moves, so lots of this. There's like adhesive flying past your nose and stuff. Well, it's like anything, you've never done it before. It's all like really new and you're never quite sure if you're doing it right. But we had some excellent tuition from my mate Lee, so thank you very much, Lee.
A new day and it's blimmin' cold. It's freezing in the mornings, but we've got a bit of sun here and I've got a plan that I'm hatching here. Do you remember my little solar panels that I've got? Afri gave us these panels to review a few vlogs ago and a power box. So we're going to charge these up whilst we've got the sun and the chance, and I've got an idea what I'm going to use the power for, the free energy later in the episode.
Can anybody guess what time it is? Bex is donning her waterproof trousers.
It's time for the lovely Bex to get extremely soaking wet while I stand from afar. You reckon I'll ever get really wet doing this?
No, you'd complain too much. It's just easier for me to do it.
Here we go again with Becca's dad's legendary tile cutter. Getting pretty handy at using this little bugger now. Well, Bex's anyway.
Do you want it? Do you want it, Bex?
Just put it down there for now.
Really, a bit of a sweat here doing all this
Let's
work.
fire it up for Bex then. Fill the tile cutter's belly up with water. It's thirsty, it needs its morning feed. While I do that, Bex is going to mark them up and tool up.
I will be going in gloveless.
And then, yeah, get a tile cutting. Again, I will be holding this little end bit from afar while the lovely Becca pushes the tile into the deadly blade. Okay, load up on adhesion gloop and let's get this next set of tiles up.
Once again, Becca's going to prime the panels.
With every stroke, a new lesson is learnt. How not to be as messy as last stroke. Before we go any further and get to my go, do you remember our Narrowboat's canopy covers here? And you must remember that little wallop that we had with me destroying the canopy cover, leading to this. never gets old, that footage, does it? Here we've got a cute little one on the back here too, but something tells me the boat is due a cuter one. So in the coming weeks we're going to have a very, very special announcement involving our Narrowboat's canopy covers. How exciting, guys. Comments down below if you can guess what's going on here. Well, let's get these babies up. I'm a professional now. Whack that crap on there, make Becca next to me think I know what I'm doing, lift the panel on, give it a little pushy whooshy, put the next panel up, give that a little pushy whooshy, and yeah, actually I surprised myself. It actually turned out that I was a professional. So onto our final layer before we come to doing the black and white quarry tiles on the half. But the final layer led to what happens in every single Crobot episode. Again, I'll be holding this little end piece here while Becca guides the tile into the blade. These guys will be alright, it's not too late yet on the marina. And this was where our big Crobot problem began. So the plan was to get the fireplace completely tiled by the end of this episode. So far we're making really, really good progress. Just got to get these top ones on and the bottom ones. But we've sprung across a little problem in true Crobot fashion. The last tile that we'll come to cut, it's got a shed load of little scratches in it. Well, some are little, there's a couple of nastier ones. Let's take a look. These are quite deep, these ones here. This is sort of one running here. It's got little ones here, sort of all over it, aren't they?
To me it looks more like scars from the machinery that they've used to cut the tiles or something. It's not like natural imperfections in the slate, it's like machine made, I think. So we're just trying to figure out ways if we can sort of smooth them out a bit, because it's just a right pain in the ass. The last bloody one as well. Never mind.
We were sort of half thinking, would you get away with putting it up? Or would you even notice if it's sort of sat sort of behind the stove? But the thing is, it's really coming on well. It's looking lovely at the moment. Do you want to ruin it by putting one horrible bit of slate up with scratches on it?
And the other thing, it's not as easy as just nipping down to the shop to get another tile, because I had to order these in and it took a while for them to arrive. So there's not a quick fix really.
Last time it took over a week to get them, didn't it?
More than that, I think. It was the very last one in the box, so you just didn't realise.
Yeah.
Annoying. I'm going to have a go at sanding to put it out.
A little bit of water. 400 grade.
No, I'm going 240.
Oh, okay.
That's sort of where I did it, I think.
Yeah.
So it has taken it out a bit, yeah.
So we're going to order up a fresh new tile because we want this to look nice at the end, don't we? But surprise, surprise, that wasn't the only Crobot problem that we had. So as you know, we haven't got a fireplace. We are going to reinstate the old electric heaters that came with the Narrowboat. And Bex has created some little legs for it. Little leggies. Health and safety first, always. Not this time. There's a great gap underneath.
Put 2 bits of wood underneath the legs. We won't just leave it like that.
And also, because we're pretty skint at the moment, as you can see, we've been charging up the old battery bank with the solar today. Looks like it might take another couple of weeks until we get this fireplace fully finished off. So we're going to use our free energy today and keep warm. That's safe.
Start to smell the rug burning, then we'll turn it off for a bit.
I'll bring the power box in. So as a lot of you might have seen earlier on in the episode, I've been charging up the old AFRI power bank to get free energy, and now we get to use the free energy. Free energy! Free, free, free!
All contained in this little wee box.
Given to us for free to some.
It just goes to show we're using it though, aren't we?
Yeah, for emergencies, and we are in a state of emergency, really, aren't we? It's freezing.
Our toes are in real danger of dropping off, guys. We need some heat.
Right, we'll put it on. Push the button. You ready? So that's all.
Oh, heat!
Hang on. Is that coming out?
Yeah.
38 minutes.
Okay, so now that we have secured the slate, or at least as much of it as we can until we get our new fresh non-scratched slate to finish it off, I wanted to just reorganise the hearth and just make sure that all the tiles that had been cut for that section all still fitted nicely, which is a lot harder than it sounds because there's lots of tiny triangular bits and loads of spacers flying left, right and centre. But I've eventually cracked it and this is what it's looking like at the moment.
Welcome back, our copper backboards, back pieces to the fire. What do you call them?
We're just going to take the copper off of the hardy backer so that we can reinstate the hardy backer back up on the wall, and then at a later date we'll fix the copper on once it's on the wall.
Yeah, by getting this back up now, we can make sure that the top set of tiles aren't going to interfere with the hardy backer board. Glove up and gloop up. And yeah, like I stated earlier, I am now a professional in this, guys. Links down below if you need my services. I'm very poor. I don't have a job anymore. Whack this little baby up.
Give it a little wiggle. It's my hack of the day.
Prepare for a Crobot problem.
Oh, we never cut it, have we?
Oh my god, I can't believe we forgot that.
Yeah, we forgot to cut this tile to the right size. We were meaning to do it, but we just forgot. So get the adhesion gloop off, get her Bex to further get the adhesion gloop off, and take charge.
One bleeding job she had.
One? Are you joking?
So that didn't quite work out how we wanted to, but Bex felt super guilty for not cutting the tile right, so she came up with a way to apologise.
So I think we're going to give this a miss now tonight. We've got that final panel that we've got to pick up next week sometime to replace the scratched one. And I think when we go to put that one up, we'll just put the last one up because there's too much messing about. And then we'll do these last 3 panels all together. But the story is not going to end there, is it, Bex?
I'm about to get down with the mosaic tiles.
Right.
Do the hearth.
So Bex is going to crack on with the black and white quarry tiles. So by the end of this episode, you are going to see every single tile, minus the 3, up on our fireplace.
I like to hold a little bit back for you guys, you know, just to tease you a little bit.
I thought it was probably a really good idea to stay completely out the way for this because the black and white tile formation is quite complex and you've got to get it straight, and she don't want me in her ear while she's trying to carry out the apology, does she? You've got this adhesion gloop below that's got about 30 minutes setting time, you know. It's quite a panicky sort of situation, especially when you've got to sort of clean the tiles on top at some point too before that dries and get it straight. I mean, could you imagine me doing this? It would just be complete panic. Here we go, guys. Try not to concentrate on the tiles that are missing, but check this out. All completely in line, all setting. I mean, can you see the little bits in between? All ready for the grouting procedure in the next episode. Also, we've got to put the side panels up on the half too, and then fingers crossed that our replacement slate tile will turn up in time for the next episode. Upstairs, we've still got to put our copper boards, and then fingers crossed this will look something like this. And yeah, more importantly, let's get some heat back on this vessel. It's good to be back. Catch you guys in the next episode.